Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Rocket Driver partnership meeting. Glad to have everyone here. So we are going to cover some processes and procedures that I think are important for all of you to make it a very streamlined and efficient process. So let's start with the post-sale process. Right now, I'm in the partner portal, as all of you know, and every service that we have pretty much has a post-sale process, okay? And what I'll do here is I will click on one of these pages here, right? So each page is pretty much set up in the same format. So you have an understanding of how our pages are in the back office. So at the bottom of our pages here, what we have is the quote process explained in detail. And we have several locations to explain this to you, right? We have it in the partner portal, and we also have it in the resources section. But let me scroll down here. So we have, for websites, we have the quote process for responsive websites, and we have the quote process for e-commerce websites. Then we have the post-sale process. The post-sale process is very important for all partners to review and understand, because like I said, that way you could set your client's expectations properly, you know exactly how the process works, and you'll know what the next steps are. So since we're on the website development post-sale process, it's pretty straightforward. When you contact support, we would provide you with a quote, which is a wholesale quote. You would forward that quote to your client. The client would pay you on the invoice, and then you would reply back to that agent. And all you have to do is ask them for an invoice, and they would send you out an invoice. Once the invoice is paid, then immediately the project management portion of the process kicks in. You will have an assigned project manager, and that assigned project manager will be your liaison. They will guide you throughout the whole process. They will hold your hand step by step throughout the whole project, answering all your questions and making your life really easy. Any questions that you have, your project manager would be that person that would handle that for you. They will follow you on all projects. And the reason why you get a dedicated project manager, they get to know you as an agency owner. They get to know your business culture. They get to know your clients, and they will follow you on every project. So if you sold every service that you see on my screen, your dedicated project manager would follow you throughout all of these projects. It creates consistency when you have a dedicated project manager. The other thing that's important, they get to know your clients. They will understand and support your client throughout the whole project. What we do is we really lock down the process in the project management system, which I will show you, and control the timelines for the actual project. Basically, what we need from you, what you need from us, and there's a timeline and a to-do checklist for you as an agency and for our company, Rocket Driver. It makes it very streamlined. Getting back to the process here, it's really straightforward. Every section pretty much has a post-sale process and a quote process. If you'd like to find out more about it, it's right here. It's very simple. Since we are on the website page, we go now to the Rocket Driver knowledge base, and you will see, if you scroll down, you can find the post-sale process right here for websites. Now, if you don't want to click here and you just want to find it even quicker, you could just type in website post-sale process. Our knowledge base is integrated with the Rocket Driver Partner Portal. You will find it here, website post-sale process, e-commerce post-sale process. What happens is you don't even have to leave the knowledge base. The post-sale process for every service is on the bottom of all these pages, and it's also in your resources section, and it's integrated into the partner portal where you could find everything here. Very straightforward and very simple to understand. Again, post-sale process on every page, in the resource section, and right here when you open when you click on that little icon, you will find it. Now, this is what your project management platform looks like. What we've done that's different, and it's the reason why we're having this meeting, is a few weeks ago, we implemented to-dos. And we implemented to-dos to create more accountability. Accountability for the agency, accountability for the client, and also more accountability for Rocket Driver. It also creates organization, efficiency. Just to give you an example, this is what you would see. And what we would do is we would assign this initiative. So you have these steps. Let's go through the steps first. And you would start from step one. But what we've done is we've created all the steps that you're going to have for this project. As soon as you have access to the project management platform, you will be assigned a to-do. We would put the name in here to assign it to you, the agent. And then when done, it would notify us and we would put a selected date. So normally 48 hours. So if we're looking at, let's say if it was Thursday morning, we would probably go to Monday. So by Monday, the 22nd, we would need this form filled out, which would automatically be submitted to us. Once that happens, it'll be checked off. Then it'll go to step two. And step two is the content submittal instructions, where we put them all here for you. Again, we will add this to do for you, and you will have 48 hours to submit the content. Now, why are we putting timelines on these? Well, we're actually putting timelines because it's important to have a timeline for your clients. What happens a lot of times is maybe the agency didn't set the expectations correctly. Maybe the agency did set the expectation correctly and the actual client is not following the expectation timeline that we have. And what that does, it seriously hampers your project. It puts the project in jeopardy if they don't respond back in time. These times are not etched in stone, we understand, but we have to hold you and we have to hold your client accountable to adhere to the timeline, because it will hurt the project, especially if we're doing a search engine optimization project or a social project or an advertising campaign. It happens not all the time, but it happens on certain projects where agencies do not respond, clients do not respond. It's a serious problem. And all that happens there is that you have paid for a service, the momentum will be gone from that project. When you do a marketing campaign, or if we're building out a website, we have an assigned team to work on your project, okay? And the assigned team that we have, they are there to work on on this actual project. So if you keep them waiting, what's going to happen is they're going to work on another project, and then your client, when they ever decide to get back to you, or when the agency decides to get back to us, we would have to put you at the back of the queue. So we don't want that to happen. The reason why I'm explaining this, you need to know how our processes and procedures work, so that way you can set the expectations. You have to know what's going on behind the scenes. We have hundreds of projects going on, and there's a client that doesn't respond. Well, like I said, we can't sit there. We have other projects that have deadlines that we will stop your project, jump on the other project. So your client might have to wait for us to finish that other project before we even pick up yours. So you need to make that clear to your clients. So going back to the to-dos, we've made it very, very simple, very simple. You submit, you follow the instructions. Inside of here, you can ask questions. So what we've done, just to go back here, the message board will be the introduction to the project, and then the message board will be shut down. On previous projects, everything was being done inside of the message board, and on older projects, we will continue to work inside of the message board. But on all of the newer projects that come in, the message board is just for a quick hello, tell you exactly where you need to go, which is the to-do section, and then it's turned off. All communications will be done inside of your to-dos. The reasoning behind all of this is that it keeps everything organized. So let's go to like your first draft. So when we create your first draft and we post that message inside of here, you're going to get notified that that first draft was completed. Any questions whatsoever about that first draft, or if you want to send us information for the next revision, it's all done inside of this step right here. That way, we can always go back to it, and so can you. We will never get lost in the communication because there is a lot of back and forth, again, depending on the project that goes on. There are some projects that, depending on the complexity of the project, can go on for months. Websites, obviously not, right? We could get a website done in 7 to 10 business days, you'll get your first draft. The point of that explaining here is that everything has a time frame on it. And we're explaining everything in detail to you, and not only to you, but also to your client. If you added your client to the actual project management platform, they will see everything that you see. We will work on the first concepts and send them within 7 to 10 business days. It is imperative to follow that. Then once it's completed, you fill out, you basically give us your okay, send us whatever you need for the next revision, and then it would go to the first revision. So we would check the box that you reviewed the first draft and send us your comments. And then your comments for the next revision will be sent in a single Word doc from 48 hours after we've provided you the first revision. The first draft, you would send it and apply it, send it out to us, and then that way we would start your first revision. Very simple to understand. You will be notified at all times. When it's completed, you'll be notified. Comments, you'll be notified. And it just keeps everything streamlined and efficient all the way down to the final revision. And your website is ready to go live with the information appointed domain. So what we have done here is we've taken away a lot of the questions. What's next? A lot of agencies ask, what's next? What's next? Well, here you go. This is what's next. And you can follow the timeline. So that's for a website, which is very simple. Let me show you another campaign here, which has more complexity to it. Now we are doing a lot more, right? It's a totally different project, and there are different stages to this project here. Websites are pretty straightforward. When you're building, you have a first revision, a first draft, a first revision, a second revision, and then you have your final revision, and that's it. Step one is always going to be your initial brief form that you'll fill out. Sometimes you'll have a link. Sometimes it'll be a simple doc that you fill out. And when you're done, you just basically upload it right here, and that's it. That's all you do. Very straightforward. Since there's a lot more complexity and a lot more that we have to do on our end when it's a social and SEO campaign, we keep you in the loop. So step two is all about planning. So here, after you submit your initial brief form, 48 hours later, we're going to submit the keyword research for your campaign. Once that is done, then we get to the website audit. 48 hours after you approve your keyword research, 3 to 5 business days, we will audit, we will analyze the client's website, and then come back with our findings. It'll be posted inside of the website audit section. Then after the approval of the website audit, the content plan comes out, where we would send you the content plan for your social, for your SEO, for everything that we're doing. It's just a plan. We're going to give you some ideas on how we're going to build out the actual campaign, the social, the SEO, and all that'll be in the content plan. So we're kind of giving you like a full high-level overview of what the strategy is going to be, what based on the keywords that we have, what are we going to build out, and then that will be your content plan. Then we go into the first phase because this is an SEO and a social campaign. The first phase is the content draft. So after you approve the content plan, we're going to come back and give you a draft of the content, titles for blogs, titles for social posts, ideas that we have. We will give you a draft of the actual content for, like here, since this is a small campaign, we would give you the titles of the actual 5 blogs, the titles of the articles. We would provide that in your draft. It's what we feel based on our research, what the blogs and articles should be written about. We would upload them. You will look at them. Any changes are made inside of the actual document. We've noticed that sometimes when we do create a draft and we provide you with a Word document, the agency will just type the information here and not inside of the Word document, that we have our questions and comments inside of there to keep everything very streamlined and efficient. If we send you a Word doc and inside of that Word doc, we're asking you to respond in the Word doc, please do, because the reason why we ask that, it might have to go to several different departments. We don't have every department part of the project management platform. They don't need to be. The project manager is your, like I said earlier, is your liaison that will communicate with, like here, you have a bunch of different teams. You have an SEO team, you have a content team, you have a social team, you have a graphic design team. Instead of all of you speaking to 5 different departments, that would be haywire, right? It wouldn't make any sense. You have a direct contact with your project manager, and your project manager is the one that communicates with all of these different departments. They compile the information, and then they post it here in the project management platform, making your life really easy. Once again, you can have your clients have access to the project management platform. Not an issue whatsoever. Make sure if you do add your clients to the project management platform that they understand the deliverables. We had a meeting about setting client expectations. That was our last partner meeting. This is the actual video that you should watch because it's all about setting your clients' expectations. It's all about preparing them for the campaign that we are going to be working on. So if you don't set your clients' expectations properly, when we get here, there's going to be a problem. I hope that you've educated them, you've signed a contract with them. I mean, you dotted your I's, you crossed your T's, you did everything. So when we get to this point, it's smooth sailing. The other thing that we've created to educate you as an agency and to educate your clients if they were provided access, some FAQs. We might post that we need access to Google Search Console or access to Google Analytics, or if your clients don't have a business profile, Project Manager will guide you and they'll just tell you to go to FAQ section and just click on the link. We'll show you and your client exactly what they need to do right here. It's all explained. These are like the frequent questions that they ask, so we post them here. You know, why do we need to share, clients need to share their feedback within 24 hours or 48 hours? We're explaining it. We don't want the campaign to stop. We don't want to lose momentum, especially on an SEO campaign. Think about how SEO runs. For those of you that don't understand, SEO runs in a pretty straightforward manner. We need to post religiously. The machine cannot stop. We can't give you the content to approve for your blogs, then your clients come back to us a month later and they approve the blog. Ladies and gentlemen that are on this call, I'm telling you, it's really important to follow the timelines. All it's going to do is destroy their SEO campaign. Everything that we've worked so hard to do is going to be thrown out the window. The client needs to respond. You need to respond. You need to stay on top of your clients and ensure that we are going to get the information back 48 hours, 72 hours max. Approve the content. Let us post the blogs. That's what SEO is all about. It's consistency. Your social media campaigns. They need to be posted consistently. We cannot post a month down the road. Someone's going to land on your client's social profile, could be Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Wow, this business hasn't posted in 60 days. Something's wrong. Are they out of business? They might draw those conclusions. When it comes to search engine optimization and SEO, it's pretty much the same timeline. You could download this and you could share it with your client if they don't have access to the actual project. That way they'll understand, okay, project begins, keyword research is next, and it tells you, gives you the information on what the actual work that we're doing behind the scenes. And then it goes to the website audit, and then the content plan and the weekly activity sheets. It's all here. The weekly ranking sheets, the promotional content, and then you go through your completion report and then the next month. Then back here, it explains what the activity sheet is. If you don't know what an activity sheet is, it's right here. The activity sheet, right? We are weekly activity sheet. Outlines all off-page activities performed on your website during the week. So that's what a weekly activity sheet is, which you get on a weekly basis, which you'll get your reports, and this is what they'll look like. It's just a sample. It's an Excel spreadsheet that's very detailed, where we highlight the process on all the deliverables associated with your project. This includes both content and link building deliverables. All approved content is published and the respective URL mentioned in the activity sheets. Any pending content is also marked as pending approval. It's all here. We're very transparent. It's impossible for your client not to know what we owe your client and what your client owes us. Another report is our weekly report, includes viral traffic data from Google Analytics. This is a very important report. It might seem complex at initial glance. However, we focus on the details that are directly related to our SEO efforts, such as the ones highlighted in a green box below. We will look for organic search traffic data and sessions graph data, particularly new sessions, as it clearly demonstrates more people are reaching your client's website. If you have a mobile-friendly site, of course, our reporting will include mobile traffic data, vital for ensuring a complete result-driven SEO strategy. Then we have monthly reports that go out that you could share with your client. Below is a sample keyword ranking sheet that you will receive either on a monthly basis if you'd like, or every week. It's really up to you guys, and we will ask you. Once the website audit has been completed, any relevant meta web content uploaded. Plotting weekly rankings is important because it allows us to detect any trends and patterns in ranking incline or decline. This allows our search technicians to gauge the effectiveness of our SEO strategy and refine everything accordingly. What we're trying to do is be as transparent as possible. That way, what do we have? Happy clients. That is what Rocket Driver is all about. Let's go over all the services that will have a dedicated project manager: web design, graphic design, SEO, social media, marketing and advertising, reputation, sales funnel, and any content services. Business listings is software, no project management. We just turn it on inside of your marketing portal, and that's it. SMS, same thing. That's software, no project management at all with that. That's all done through support. Thank you again for attending this partner meeting. We appreciate you, and have a great evening. Take care.